I thought Dr. Dre put you on. I thought Dr. Dre was the set. I thought you was loyal to Dr. Dre. You mean you went with the Canadian over Dr. Dre? Who you say changed your life? I thought loyalty,
It's round 29,000 between Rick Ross and 50 Cent. Yep, they've started again. This is Fresh Hip Hop Opinion with your guy Olize. Don't forget to subscribe. So 50 Cent was on $1 million worth of game with Gilly and Wallow. And I believe Gilly decided to ask 50 about Rick Ross. Because if you don't know, Rick Ross recently was clowning 50 because his ex-girlfriend was seen going into a vehicle with Travis Scott amongst other people. Check out the clip.
Take a shot at you a couple weeks ago about a girl that you're not even with no more. And then, what is it with you and Ross that's just been going on for so long?
I spent it to you, right? Nothing else works for him outside of mentioning me. When things get bad, you mention me, it gets covered further. You'll see TMZ and say, 50 Cent said this is gonna be bad for Irv Gotti's career. I get covered across the board. They get covered on the hip hop blogs. It is what it is. And you watch because I have nothing else to say. You'll just see it happen periodically as it goes. You know, you see that big white elephant, that property he lives at? It costs more than the nightclubs. He's in the nightclubs. We know what they can give. They can't pay you more than they can pay you because the room can't hold enough people for them to give you the money to stay there. You can stay in through a squatter, holding on to the leg of the chair that they're moving. But that's what it is. It's just a part of presentation. Come on, bro. You can see this. You don't need me to say this. You know this. Look at it. What kind of rich cut his own grass? Why are you out there cutting your own grass? You trying to save money? You don't want to pay for the lawn to get cut, huh?
Let me ask you.
The AC broken in the mother.
Yeah, trust 50 Cent to come out with a good answer. He said when Rick Ross is suffering, he's got no motion, he'll mention 50. He said Ricky Ross is local. He's kind of thing what 50 said about Jadakiss and Fat Joe back in the day, that they're just local artists only in New York like them. He kind of used the same reference with Rick Ross. He said that only the hip hop blogs post him, whereas 50, his appeal spreads across the board. Of course 50 Cent's got that bigger appeal, but Rick Ross is not doing too bad. But Rick Ross does use 50's tactic, because 50's been doing this, commentating about somebody while hashtagging and promoting his other business ventures in the post. And Rick Ross is just taking it to another level, because Ricky's kind of funny. Let's keep it real. He is quite witty. And of course this viral moment from 50 Cent hit Rick Ross's ears, and he had a response. Check it out.
He want you to lose like he just bought the Holyfield mansion. He bought a jet. Oh no, 4th annual car show? I just seen a clip of the Wallow show where he was interviewing 50 Cent and the other little dude asked him a question, small talk. But ultimately the question that should have been asked was, you jumped out there during the beef, the West Coast versus the Canadian, and I thought Dr. Dre put you on. I thought Dr. Dre was the set. I thought you was loyal to Dr. Dre. You mean you went with the Canadian over Dr. Dre? Who you say changed your life? I thought loyalty, but you did shut the once the Canadian took the L, you got totally quiet. You did. So since these count my pockets, I'm gonna let them know my next move. My next move finna be Thriller in Manila 3. Mike Tyson versus Evander Holyfield 3. Once Tyson knock out Jake Paul, I'm going to get Tyson and Holyfield to fight in my front yard. I'm going to put a ring right there. And it's going to go down in my front yard. I want the judges to be Snoop Dogg, Kevin Hart, academics. You hear me? The ring going to be right there at the promised land. Thriller in Manila, the biggest. In acres, it'll be right here in the front yard. You understand what I'm trying to say? This is where we'll put it at, right here. We'll put it right here. This is where I want it at. Thriller in Manila. I have 15,000 people right here, just right here in the front yard for the car show. This is where we're going to put it at. And 50 Cent, whatever you trying to do in Shreveport, I understand the land is very inexpensive. So that's why you chose that. But you could put that on the other side in my backyard. I got another 150 acres on the backside. I won't even notice whatever y'all little thing is y'all doing. We wouldn't even have to cross each other's paths. I'll put you way in the back. Trust me, y'all can film all y'all little whatever shows. Ghost Part 9.
Yeah, fam. One thing I'll say about Rick Ross. I'm not the biggest Rick Ross fan, but the guy is funny. The guy is funny, underrated funny. I'll maybe put him in the top 10 funniest people in hip-hop history. But he started with defending the fact that he's got money, talking about the things he just bought, his annual car show, the house he bought. But of course he had to mix in some shots at 50, saying how 50 sided with Drake, the Canadian, over Kendrick Lamar, the West Coast rapper. And obviously he's kinda saying that 50 went against Dr. Dre, the guy that saved his life, gave him the opportunity. He went against his West Coast for the Canadian. Playing a few mind games there, maybe trying to get people from the West Coast to not mess with 50. I don't think Rick Ross's voice is that strong, his word. I did find it funny when Ricky said something about the Shreveport, Louisiana land that 50 invested in is cheaper land, when referencing the whole thing about that he wants to host Tyson versus Holyfield Part 3, which obviously ain't gonna happen, Ricky. But that's what I mean, Rick Ross, he actually jokes. He's actually funny. And meanwhile, during this whole response to 50, he's got his bottle of alcohol that he's promoting in his hand. This is just what Ricky Ross does. I mean, to be fair, it's mad that these two are still beefing. Their beef was over absolutely nothing, although it did get very personal. I actually think this beef will outlast the Ja Rule and 51. Obviously, the Ja Rule 51 is much more personal, but Ja Rule doesn't even barely respond to 50. Whereas the Rick Ross and 50 Cent one, they enjoy it too much. You can see it. You can see that they enjoy it. They use it as a way to promote their products and their ventures and anything they got going on. And it could genuinely just be an ego thing. But I really do believe they generally don't like each other as well. How deep it is, who knows? But I ain't gonna lie, I find it entertaining. But that's just my opinion. I want to know yours. Leave a comment below, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. This is Fresh Hip Hop Opinion. Peace and love.